Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to interview preparation session by 360 DGTMG. And yesterday and day before yesterday, we have been gone through some questions. Some of the most of the interview questions by Python, and those are all comes under the basics of Python. So now for the day, we are going to see some more questions which might help you in this technical round of your ongoing process. Fine. uh, on that regarding, let me share you the first question of the day. So as coming to this first question, uh, does Python support multiple inheritance? So as we all know, if I think most of you all which have who have been in the session are from programming background. So who are from programming background, who has a basic knowledge on Java, C, and Python, inheritance, they have know something about inheritance. So regarding that, does this is Python support multiple inheritance? If yes, how? If not, how? You please share me the answers in the chat box. I'll be seeing your answers, and we'll be discussing about the answer in a minute. Yeah, fine. Now, as going to this answer, multiple inheritance means that a class can be derived from more than one parent class. So in classes, there are parent class as well as child classes, but the parent class cannot inherit all the data from another classes, but the child class can inherit all the data from parent class, right? So this multiple inheritance, this basically means that a class can be derived from more than one parent class. Python does not support this multiple inheritance unlike Java. So it doesn't support any inheritance techniques unlike Java. So Java supports this inheritance technique. Okay, fine. Now, what is polymorphism in Python? This is also same question as compared to Java. Whoever know about Java they have, I think they know, they have an idea on this polymorphism. So yeah, I'll be giving you a minute. I'll be get back in a minute. If anyone knows the answer, please ping me in the chat box. I'll be waiting. Yeah. Now, as coming to the answer of this, so what is basically polymorphism in Python? Polymorphism means the ability to take multiple forms. So, for instance, if the parent class has a method named ABC, if a parent class inherits a method named ABC, then the child class also can have a method same naming ABC, having with its own parameters and variables. So, as compared to this parent class as well as the child class, we are making a conclusion that Python might it gets allowed by this polymorphism allows the Python to take. So, as coming to the next question, define encapsulation in Python. So, what is encapsulation? How it is helpful in Python? So, I'll be giving you a minute. I'll just check the chat box. If anyone knows the answer, please ping in the chat box, and we'll look into the answer in a minute. Yeah. Now, as coming to this encapsulation technique, encapsulation means binding the code and the data together. Uh, a Python class is an example for this encapsulation technique. Okay. Yeah, Divya. It also comes under the hiding the code. It's fine. So now, as coming to the next question, how do you do data abstraction in Python? What is the process? How do you do this abstraction process in Python? I'll be giving you a minute. If anyone knows the answer, please ping me in the chat box. I have been seeing the answers in the chat box. We'll discuss the answer in a minute. Yeah. As coming to this, how do we use this data abstraction in Python? Data abstraction. Data abstraction is providing only the required details and hides the implementation from the world, which means if you give any data, it directly shows you the answer, but it doesn't show you the implementation part. it just throws if you throw a question to it, it directly throws an answer, but the implementation part is hidden. It can be achieved in Python by using interfaces and abstract classes. By using this, we can achieve them in Python. Okay. Now, as going to the next question, how to create an empty class in Python? So it also have a process, right? So how do we create an empty class in the Python? So I've been giving you a minute. We'll discuss this answer in a minute. If anyone knows the answer, please ping in the chat box. Yeah. Now, as looking to into this answer, how to create in Python. So, yeah, an empty class is a class that does not have any code defined within its block. Okay, it is just a class. It doesn't have any code. Okay, uh, it can be creating using the pass keyword, as we have been come across this pass keyword in this past two sessions, which means yesterday and day before yesterday. So they might have got an idea what is a pass key about, keyword about, and however you can create objects of this class outside the class itself. In Python, the pass command does nothing when it's executed. It's a null statement. Okay, class A. So if we want to pass an empty class, so this is how we are going to pass it. Class A, we have to mention a class, then object with a name, and we have to print an object. So this is how we are going to go across. Okay, now the next one, what does an object do? So in Python, how does this object work? Okay, yeah, I'll be giving you a minute. We'll just discuss in a minute. Yeah, fine. Now, what does an object do? Let's go into this. Now, object. It returns a featureless object that is a base for all classes. Also, it does not take any parameters. It just returns a object without taking any parameters. This is the main function. This is the function. What does the object function does? Okay. What is a map function in Python and how it is useful to us and where do we use them? I'll be giving you a minute to please go through the question. If anyone has an idea, please ping in the chat box. I'll be observing the answers. We'll discuss in a minute. Yeah. Now, what is a main function in Python? Okay, main function, it executes the function given as the first argument on all the elements of the iterable given as a second argument. Okay, if the function given takes it more than one argument, then many iterables are given. Hashtag follow the link. Okay, as coming to the next question. Is Python Numpy better than list? If yes, how? If anyone knows the answer, please ping in the chat box. I'll be holding on for a minute. Now, yeah. Is Python Numpy better than list? Yes, I was looking into it. We use Python Numpy. What is Numpy actually? We have been came to about this Numpy in the yesterday's and previous both the disk classes. This is a library. Okay, we use Python Numpy array instead of list because of the following reasons. We are being using this Numpy because of it has very less memory, it is very fast, it is very convenient to use. So regarding as considering these three features of list, we have been using a list instead of this Numpy. Okay, how do you make 3D plots visualizations in Numpy or Sci-Fi? These both are all both the functions are of Python library functions. How do we use them? So if anyone know the answer, please ping in the chat box. I would be holding for a minute. We'll just discuss the answer in a minute. Yeah, fine. Now as seeing this question, yeah, like 2D plotting, 3D graphics is beyond the scope of Numpy and Sci-Fi. But just as in 2D case, packages exist that integrate with Numpy. Matplotlib, this is also a library which we use in Python. This library provides a basic 3D plotting in the mplot3d sub packages. This is a sub package which we use, okay? Whereas this Mayavi provides a wide range of high quality 3D visualization features utilizing the powerful VTK engine. So we can use this NumPy and SciPy for 2D plotting. We can use Matplotlib. This is a library for 3D plotting, and as a package called mplot3d. It provides a 3D visualization feature. Okay. As coming to the next question, what do you understand by re-indexing in Pandas? Okay, I'll be holding on for a minute. We'll just discuss the answer in a minute. Yeah. As coming to this question, sorry. As coming to this question, uh, what do you understand by re-indexing in Pandas? So re-indexing is a process of conforming a data frame. So what is data frame? Uh, so to upload any data frame, to use any kind of data, to find any values, null values, whether the data set have any null values, dummy values, so we have to upload the data, right? So for uploading a data, we use a data frame. So reindexing is a process of conforming a data frame to a new index with optional filling logic. If the values are missing in the previous index, then NA, which means null value, is placed in the location. Okay. A new object is returned unless a new index is produced that is equivalent to current one. Okay. The copy value is set to false. This is also used for changing the index of rows and columns in data frames. It is also used for exchanging the rows and columns in the data frame. No. Now, as coming to the next question, define GIL. What is GIL? As coming to this GIL is basically stands for Global Interpreter Lock. The full form of GIL means Global Interpreter Lock. This is a mutex used for limiting access to Python objects and aids in effective thread synchronization by avoiding deadlocks. This GIL helps in achieving multitasking, but and not parallel computing. It just helps for achieving only multitaskings. Okay, yeah. Now, as going to the next question, what is the difference between the deep and shallow copies? So I might giving you a minute. We'll discuss the answer in a minute. Now, as going to this main differences between the deep and shallow copies. Now, shallow copies. What are they? Basically, they does the task of creating a new object and storing references of original elements, which means they will be creating a new objects and stores the references of the original elements. Okay, this does not undergo recursions to create copies of nested objects. It just copies the reference details of nested objects. Okay, it just copies the only referential details. Okay, as coming to this deep copy deep copy, basically it creates an independent and new copy of an object and even copies all the nested objects of the original element recursively. It creates a new object as well, and it also copies the nested objects of original recursion elements. Now, as jumping into the next question, uh, this is a MCQ. Which of the following statements create a dictionary? So, as I told in the previous classes and on Monday and Tuesday, you might have known about tuples, lists, dictionaries, and all, right? So, which of the following statement creates a dictionary? Among these, which of this creates a dictionary? Either option A, B, C, or D. If anyone knows the answer, please ping me in the chat box. I'll be looking into it, and we'll discuss the answer in a minute. Okay. Yeah, now as jumping into this answer, the answer is B, C, and D. All of these are correct because of their syntaxes. Okay, dictionaries are created by specifying keys and values. Fine. Yeah, Vivek, the answer you told was absolutely right. Yeah, okay. And now, as coming to the next question, which one of the following is floor division? Among this is also an MCQ question. I'll be giving you a minute. If anyone knows the answer, please ping me in the chat box. If else, please do a wild guess. Yeah, I will be discussing answer in a minute. Yeah. Now, as looking into this answer, the answer is B. Why? Why? When both of the operands are integer, then Python chops out the fraction part. Okay, which means I'll be giving you an example and gives you the round of value. To get the accurate answer, use floor division. For example, see, if we do this division 5 by 2, then you might get an answer in decimals, right? We will get an answer as 2.5. But both the operands and the integer. So answer of this expression in the Python is 2. So how we get 2? If we use this symbol twice, then we get the answer as 2, which is equal to rounding off. To get 2.5 as the answer, use floor division using double quotes. So 5, double divided by 2 is equal to 2.5. Now, as jumping to the next question, this is also an MCQ type question. What is the maximum possible length of an identifier? So in a Python there are identifiers, right? So what is the maximum length? What is the maximum length of an identifier? If anyone knows the answer, please ping me in the chat box. I would be seeing your replies. We'll be discussing the answer in a minute. As coming to the answer of this, what is the maximum length of the identifier? Option D. Identifier can be of any length. It doesn't matter how much might be the length is. It can be of any length. Okay. So if in place of none of the above, if there is an option called all of this, then it would be a right option. Fine. Yeah. And there was a question asked by Mr. Vivek. Okay. Hello, Vivek. Yeah, Vivek. Actually, the keys are unique, Vivek. With the dictionary, while values may not be, the values of dictionary can be of any type. Uh, but the keys must be of an immutable data type, such as strings, numbers, or tuples. So yeah, it can be of num. Yeah. As going to the next question. Uh, why are local variable names beginning with an underscore discouraged? And the options are: option A is they are used to indicate a private variable of a class. Option B is they confuse the interpreter. Option C is they are used to indicate global variables, and the option D is they slow down execution. If anyone knows the answer, please ping in the chat box. I will be seeing those answers. We'll be get back in a minute. Let's come to this question, and the answer is they are used to indicate a private variable of a class. Okay. Underscores are used for indicating a private variables of a class. As Python has no concept of private variables, leading underscores are used to indicate variables. They must not be accessed from outside the class. Okay. Yeah. Now as coming to the next question, what are Python libraries? Name few of them. So we have many libraries in Python. What are they? Name some of them. If anybody knows the answer, please ping in the chat box. I'll be seeing those answers and we'll discuss the answer in a minute. Yeah. Python libraries. What are they? Python libraries are collection of Python packages. Fine. Some of the majorly used, there are many libraries we use, but majorly used libraries are Numpy, Pandas, Matplotlib, scikit-learn, and many more. So, as jumping into the next question, what is split used for? How this is used in Python? I'll be giving you a minute. We'll discuss the answer in a minute. Okay. Yeah, Sanket, you're right. You're right. Now, as coming to this split why how do we use the split function? The split method is used to separate a given string in Python. So if in case there is a name called apple and banana in the same string with double quotes or single quotes, because we use the string as a Python symbol for using these variables, right? So if these both the names are as the same variable, by using the split function, we can split those two variables as a two different variables. This is how the split function used in Python. Now, as coming to the next question, what is type conversation in Python? Yeah, I'll be giving you a minute. If anyone knows the answer, please ping in the chat box. We'll be getting back in a minute. We'll discuss the answer. Yeah, type conversion. Type conversion refers to the conversion of one data type to another data type. There are different type conversions. Suppose here the first one is int function. It basically converts the data type into integer type. Okay, float. It converts a data type to float. Odd. It converts into integer. Hexadecimal, octal, tuple. It converts to tuple. Set converts the function returns the type after converting a set. List, dictionary, strings. These are all the conversion functions which we use in this Python. Now, as coming to the last and final question for the day, what is pickling and unpickling in Python? Yeah, as pickling. Pickling model accepts the Python object and converts it into a string representation and dummies it into a file by using dump function. This process is called picking. While the process of retrieving the original Python object from the stored strings representation is called unpicking. Okay, this is the main functions of this. How does it work? Okay. Yeah. Uh, this is for the day, guys. I hope you all have got something about Python. You all got know something about Python. Okay. Again, we'll just meet for tomorrow's class. The tomorrow class also might be on the same topic, same Python, but somewhat deeper than yesterday's and today's. So please try to attend the tomorrow's preparation class. Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye.